think was a couple days ago, was the first official day of fall. Cold front came in. So we're sitting at a beautiful 85 degrees with very low humidity. So we took the Galaxie out for a ride, showing you the neighborhood, saying hi to the neighbors, talking real estate, man. How cool is that?
How have you seen like North Austin change since you've been doing real estate?
Man, North Austin, it's changed in the sense where, have you seen just all the development? It's crazy. I guess with the combination of, oh, thank you. Yeah, we need to drive this car out at this time more often, man. Everybody's like honking and loving it. But I mean, that's changed. Obviously our price points have changed. They shot up, you know, over 60% and within 2 years. It was crazy. Since then, since the crazy market that got so high has fallen off, properties have maybe dropped about, I don't know, 30 to 40% in value, but they're still up 20% overall, you know? So people, you know, people still have equity here. And then if things go the way I think they're gonna go, I think properties are gonna shoot up even higher here sooner than later. Obviously, I don't know when, but that's what I think is gonna happen. A lot of sellers think they should wait till like springtime to sell. I would say that that's a popular time to sell because that's when they think that most people are looking, but also that's the time where most people list their homes, so there's a lot more competition. Look, so we're at the elementary school, and there's PTA sponsorship. I was the president a couple years ago. That was interesting. But going back to selling in the spring, a lot of people think that's the best time. I don't necessarily agree with that. Yeah, there's a lot more people looking, but there's a lot more people listing, so it's a lot more competition. When there's competition, there's less demand, right? So I think Austin is kind of different than like a lot of the other markets throughout the United States, where I think any time of the year is really a good time to sell. So there's a lot of things to consider, but I wouldn't say there's a bad time or spring's the best. I would say as long as the home is priced right and you do the right things to get it market ready, it's gonna sell. So the market, you know, I'm kind of surprised. So, you know, Powell dropped rates last week, right? He only dropped it a quarter point, which is ridiculous. I thought he was gonna drop a lot more. So they're anticipating another rate drop on December 12th and then one January 27th, a quarter each. I really thought we were gonna have a lot more movement in the market with the rate drop. Everybody had been talking about they were waiting for that. But let's say they do have 2 more rate drops and they end up dropping almost 3/4 of a point within 3 months span, that's gonna be huge. That's gonna bring on the market new buyers that are gonna be able to afford homes. People that weren't able to qualify because the rate's at 6 1/4, all of a sudden when the rate's 5.5, they're gonna be able to qualify for a home, and that's what's gonna jumpstart our market. And as far as the Austin market, every week I run hot sheets, I look at numbers, right? And I noticed that now there's actually more houses selling that are coming off the market, being withdrawn. But another big number that I saw that really stood out to me, there's still a ton of price drops. So what that means is a lot of agents are still overpricing their homes. And then they're dropping the price when it just sits there. The longer a home sits on the market, the less it's gonna sell for. I think you have the first 2 weeks that a home's on the market. That's the most important time. That's where you're gonna get the most traffic, the most interest, and that's when you need to have an aggressive agent that's gonna follow up with all the leads, do the reverse prospecting, have an open house, go knock on the neighbors, see if they wanna have anyone that wants to move in. So that's the best time to sell. So if you're in the market to buy or sell, I would love the opportunity to interview for the job of selling your home.